The condition of the Ukrainian military on the battlefield reportedly began to experience a decline in strength after the armed forces of the Russian Federation, VSRF, launched indiscriminate attacks in the Kherson, Yuzhno-Donetsk, Bakhmut and Zaporizhzhia regions. Russian Defense Ministry spokesman Lieutenant General Igor Konashenkov reported that at least the Ukrainian Armed Forces, ZSU, who died on the battlefield jumped by around 120,000 people in the last year. Not only that, hundreds of Ukrainian military equipment were also reportedly destroyed as a result of being attacked by missiles and war artillery by Russian elite forces, quoting from Business Insider. Artillery fire from the Russian troop group defeated the enemy in the residential areas of Ugledar, Prikostovka of the Donetsk People's Republic, DPR, and Sherbaki of the Zaporozhye region to the point of paralyzing the Ukrainian troops, and they had to retreat on foot due to damaged combat equipment, Konashenkov said. The report was confirmed by the commander of the Ukrainian 46th Air Assault Brigade, Kupol. Although he did not say how many troops remained, Kupol explained that the experienced troops that Kiev has at the forefront of the battlefield have shrunk sharply. This defeat even made the Russian military succeed in occupying half of the Artyomsk region, which became the largest industrial zone in Ukraine. Even though this threat has the potential to reduce the quality of Ukrainian troops in fighting the Russian invasion. But Kupol is optimistic that his country can beat back Russia, especially now that a number of Ukrainian troops are undergoing special training from Washington. I'm sure everything will be fine in the end. Ukrainian troops can take the town of Soledar and storm Artyomsk, which has been occupied by the Russians for the past week, Kupol explained. Russia shoots down U.S. drone, NATO wrath. Threatens to take aggressive steps. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, alliance has threatened to increase its presence in the Black Sea after a Russian fighter jet downed a U.S. military drone Tuesday, the 14th of March 2023. Russia's mistakes are considered as a condemnation and démarche, political move, for the United States, so that NATO does not hesitate to intensify their presence in the Black Sea region within a few hours, said former U.S. Army General Mark Hertling. Before the collision occurred, Hertling explained that the U.S. military drone was carrying out a routine mission in international airspace, precisely over the Black Sea. But surprisingly, at 7 a.m., 2 Russian fighter jets tried to intercept the U.S. drone. Due to this maneuver, one of the Russian Su-27 aircraft hit the propeller of the U.S. MQ-9 drone. Although there were no casualties in this incident, the collision caused the MQ-9 Reaper drone, which is an unmanned aircraft to assist the U.S. military in carrying out altitude surveillance, forced to make an emergency landing in international waters. Several times before the collision, the Su-27 dumped fuel and flew in front of the MQ-9. It is a reckless, unfriendly and unprofessional violation of international law, he said. The Russian embassy in Washington did not immediately respond to a request for comment regarding the collision. The U.S. considers the actions taken by Russia as a deliberate violation of the law that could trigger a direct confrontation with Washington, as quoted by CNBC International. Following the incident, State Department spokesman Ned Price said the U.S. was in the process of summoning Russian Ambassador Anatoly Antonov to discuss Moscow's lawlessness. We have been in high-level communication with our previous allies and partners to inform them of this incident and to let them know what we know, Price said in a conference call with reporters. Russia warns U.S. to stop aggressive activities after drone incident in Black Sea. Russia warned the United States not to act aggressively in the aftermath of the drone incident in the Black Sea. On Tuesday, the 14th of March 2023, a Russian jet collided with a U.S. drone over the Black Sea, causing the drone to be shot down because it was out of control. Reported by the MoscowTimes.com, Russia has denied that its Su-27 aircraft intentionally crashed into a U.S. Reaper drone. But Ukraine said the incident was a move by Russia to escalate the conflict. As himself called the incident reckless and unprofessional. We assume that the United States will refrain from further speculation in the media and stop flights near the Russian border, Russian ambassador to Washington Anatoly Antonov said Wednesday. We regard any action with the use of U.S. weaponry as open hostility, he wrote on Telegram's social media channels. Russia's defense ministry said it was seeking to issue a fighter jet takeoff order following the detection of a U.S. drone in the Black Sea and denied causing the crash. The Pentagon said its drone was on a routine mission when it was intercepted in a reckless, environmentally unfriendly and unprofessional manner. Russia replied the plane was out of control and said its jet had not made contact with it. White House National Security spokesman John Kirby followed up by saying, "Clearly, we dispute the Russian denial." He added the United States was trying to prevent drones from falling into the wrong hands. "We have taken steps to protect our equity with respect to that particular drone, that particular aircraft," Kirby told CNN. Russian interceptions over the Black Sea are commonplace, Kirby said in Washington, but this one is noteworthy for how unsafe and unprofessional it was. But for Ukraine, the incident is proof that Russian President Vladimir Putin wants to raise the stakes of the conflict in Ukraine and appeal to Washington. The incident with the American MQ-9 Reaper UAV, provoked by Russia over the Black Sea, is Putin's way of signaling his readiness to escalate the conflict to involve other parties, Secretary of Ukraine's National Security and Defense Council Alexei Danilov said on social media. "The goal of this all-in tactic is to always raise the stakes," he added. NATO diplomats in Brussels confirmed the incident, but said they did not expect it to escalate into further confrontations. A Western military source said diplomatic channels between Russia and the United States could help reduce friction. "I think diplomatic channels will mitigate this," the source said. Russia's campaign in Ukraine has raised fears of a direct confrontation between Moscow and the NATO alliance, which has armed Kyiv to help it defend itself. Reports of a missile attack in eastern Poland in November raised alarm before Western military sources concluded that the attack was a Ukrainian air defense missile, not a Russian one. Can't be flown and can't be controlled. The United States uses MQ-9 Reapers drones for surveillance and strikes. The drone has been operating in the Black Sea for a long time, monitoring Russian naval forces. Our MQ-9 aircraft was conducting routine operations in international airspace when it was intercepted and rammed by a Russian aircraft, resulting in the crash and complete loss of the MQ-9, said U.S. Air Force General James Hecker, commander of U.S. Air Forces, European Forces and Air Forces. African Air. In fact, this unsafe and unprofessional Russian action almost caused both planes to crash. U.S. and allied aircraft will continue to operate in international airspace, and we call on Russia to act in a professional and safe manner, he added. Pentagon spokesman Brigadier General Pat Ryder said the drone was unflyable and uncontrollable and forced it to be brought down. He added that the collision also likely damaged the Russian plane, which he said was able to land after the incident. Several U.S. Reapers have gone missing in recent years, including to enemy fire. One Reaper was shot down in 2019 over Yemen by a missile fired by Houthi rebels, U.S. Central Command said at the time. The Reaper can be armed with Hellfire missiles as well as laser-guided bombs and can fly more than 1,770 kilometers at altitudes of up to 15,000 meters, according to the U.S. Air Force.